From now on, I'm gonna focus on sharing my stay-at-home life, mum life. Cooking, cleaning, self-care, workouts, and I'm gonna avoid talking about my situation with Matt. As it has changed a lot for the well-being of our daughter. We both want different things, but we're in good terms for a baby girl. Is this Jasmine alluding to the fact that her and Matt are no longer together, or at least they are on their way out of being in a healthy relationship? And I say healthy relationship because this has been the most healthiest relationship that Jasmine has ever had in her whole entire life. And I spoke previously about how I feel like she's somebody that has the ability to self-sabotage a relationship that's good for her rather than actually do her best to sustain it. But hey, at the same time, maybe Matt is a problem himself. But then she continues here by saying the last straw for me has been his family and his point of view about different things. This last holiday made me understand I'll never be accepted. I mean, to be honest with you, let's just call it what it is. Can any one of us really sit here and say that we would be able to accept Jasmine into our family? I mean, is there any man or even woman for that matter would be comfortable enough, willing enough, wanting to take Jasmine home and present her to your family? Because of the way she is in terms of her personality, somebody that is a complete hothead, something that overreacts, has a very, very reactive personality among so many things. So to be honest with you, given that this information that she's telling us is true, because let's not forget, Jasmine likes to say a lot of the things just for attention. If this stuff is for true, to be honest with you, she did end up getting pregnant with Matt before she left her marriage. That's never going to be a good look. A lot of family are going to look at it and think, if you was able to step out on your husband and get pregnant while still married to that man, despite the fact that you were separated, then who's to say that you wouldn't do that to our son, to our brother, to our cousin, to our uncle, to our family member? And this is the problem, isn't it? Jasmine already comes in with a stigma behind her that she's somebody who doesn't seem to be able to be trusted because loyalty doesn't seem to be her friend. Well, here's the thing. She continues with another post where she says, the little energy I have left, I'm using it to bring my sons and take care of my daughter and my mental health. Now, are we here to really believe that Jasmine is finally in that position where she's going to leave Matt and she's going to raise Matilda as a single mother, as well as also bring her kids from Panama to the United States? I mean, listen, I'm going to say this right now. There's going to be a lot of people watching this video right now who are going to be thinking, girl, stop telling us about your sons, because if you wanted them, well, then you would have bought them by now. You're the one that literally did not push the man that you was with to put them on that damn visa. You literally complain about money. And the only time you complained about your sons was when you finally got your move to the United States, and then all of a sudden you decided to make them a priority. So there was going to be many people who are going to have that type of reaction when it comes to Jasmine, do you see what I'm saying? Regarding her always bringing up her kids. But then there's the flip side. Then there's people who are going to be like, you know what, I really like the fact that she's willing to, obviously wait for her kids to finally make it to America. I really respect the fact that she's somebody who won't let a man come in the way and, obviously ruin her life right now in America. And I like the fact that she's a strong person who wants to be a single mother again, even though she probably didn't want to, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, to be honest with you, I just don't know how Jasmine can be justified, but that's just my opinion, because the woman is just nothing but a hot mess. Nothing but a hot mess. Nonetheless, though, she does also come out with another post here where she kind of dumbed things down a little bit. She goes, I'll be back here soon, bringing you content to make you feel good. I love you all. Of course, Jasmine is the kind of person that will come in with some hot news that is however we want to see it, and then she obviously then end it with something that's kind of like a deflection to the point that she just made prior. And I only say that because, to be honest with you, we don't need her to love us. We need her to just be a better person for herself, for her kids, and ideally for her relationship with Matt. But hey, I guess that one is what. But then she comes out with this very interesting post where she says, also, I will never let anyone talk bad about Matt. He's a good person, sweet and lovely and caring. He takes care of me and my children. It's just other things. To be fair with you, I do like that post because it is very respectful. And to be honest with you, I'd rather her come out and say something like this rather than come out and say something completely negative about Matt that isn't necessarily true. Because at the end of the day, just because things aren't working out with you and that person, it doesn't mean that you have to destroy someone's character. So I do respect that post, given the fact that all this stuff here is true. Because at the end of the day, with Jasmine, she's somebody who can't necessarily be trusted, because a lot of the time when she does things, my apologies for that, a lot of the time A lot of the time when she does these things because she's looking for a reaction. So therefore, we also have to be careful and mindful of what Jasmine is actually saying to us. Either way though, let me know exactly what you're thinking down below in this situation in particular. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if I believe that this is the end of Jasmine and Matt, because Jasmine is too much of a compulsive liar. This woman makes posts all the time about X, Y, and Z, and we never really know if she's telling the truth. I mean, listen, literally the other week she was sending us on the goose chase to figure out whether or not she was having twins or not. Do you know what I mean? When clearly she was not pregnant again. So yeah, we've got to be very, very careful when it comes to Jasmine and her choice of words. But here, I will say this though, folks. Regardless of what she's saying here, I really hope that bringing her kids is something that she's definitely is prioritizing. But then at the same time, some people believe that maybe it's for the best that her kids stay in Panama and don't come to the United States, because a lot of people doubt that she would have the ability to actually be there for her boys if she did bring them to America. A lot of people believe that bringing them into America may just disrupt the progression that those boys are making right now in their school, within their friendships, and anything else that obviously kids will be doing at this moment in time. Some people even believe that maybe Panama is a better place for their kids to be raised rather than the United States of America. I mean, to be fair, there were definitely lots of pros and cons of them staying in Panama compared to them coming to the USA. So, yeah, there is that part too. Nonetheless, though, Jasmine did say in that recent post itself in particular that Matt has been a great person to herself and her children. Now, of course, let's not forget though, and this is where things get even more interesting. Jasmine literally came out about a few weeks back talking about how she was going to get Matt to adopt her 2 sons. How can you talk about getting Matt to adopt your 2 sons or 3 sons, 2 sons, whatever, yeah? How can you talk about him adopting her sons, the same sons that have never met him in person, but yet you knew that you and Matt's interests are very different? Why would you want somebody who you have different interests in to adopt your children? And also, let's not forget, at the most recent episode of The Tale itself in particular, Matt did also speak about the fact that he would have never wanted to marry Jasmine or propose to her until he really got to know her properly, if they never had to Matilda. And then also before The Tale and one of the most recent episodes, Jasmine did sit there and say that, listen, I don't even know who this guy is. I just slept with him, I got pregnant, and I don't even know who he is. So really and truly, given the fact that Jasmine really and truly still doesn't really know Matt properly, it is quite concerning that she wants him or wanted him to adopt her kids. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to the show itself was obviously filmed over at least a year ago, so things obviously can change in that time, and obviously they've had time to get to know each other. But at the same time though, even though the show was filmed then, the tell itself in particular was only a few months ago. So it's still kind of low-key fresh, if you dig what I'm saying. And also the post that Jasmine, see this is where things get a little bit sticky, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? And where do we go with this? It's very hard to identify whether we agree that Jasmine is somebody who we see fit enough to actually be a mother, considering she wants her kids to be adopted by a man that's never met them before, and a man that doesn't even know her that well, and a man that she doesn't even know that well. Yeah, let's talk about judgment of character, hey. With that being said, let me know exactly what you're thinking down below in the comment section and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.